What they do, what it is, it's Orion, aka Brass Balls, bringing you another installment of Deep Dive Tape Stash. Before I get into this, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel Orion Hip Hop, where you can peep previous episodes of Deep Dive Tape Stash, along with music from yours truly, dope obscure remixes and demos that you may or may not have never heard. Please like, share, comment, repost, all of that. Truly appreciate y'all. Now, make sure you got your swimming trunks tight, cause we gonna take a dip in the murky waters of Prospect Park's lake, you feel me? Black Moon, Buck 'Em Down. This is the remix tape single. I copped this at a thrift store, 27th Avenue Northwest in Liberty City. That thrift store no longer exists, unfortunately. Now it's a police station, but back in the day, 1998, 99, that was one of my go-to thrift store spots. Loved going to that spot, truly miss it. You know, as a digger, you hold spots like that in your heart, you feel me? Now, I also want to announce this before I go further into this episode, that Black Moon is still very much doing their thing, and they will be performing in Miami this Saturday, October 25th. Your homie Orion will be opening along with my dog, partner in crime, DJ XS. We got a set that we gonna kill that night. Black Moon is gonna be there, Smith & Wesson. It's gonna be a real dope event. Shout out to DJ Heron, Clockwork Music for bringing the brothers down, always bringing the legends. Big ups to the Belly Boys out there, everybody that's a part of that event, DJ 6 Mills, and everybody that's gonna be performing as well. Shout out to Lincoln Beer Brewing. Check out the flyer for more information. Get the QR code. Make sure you get your tickets while you can. That's not why you here for. You ain't here for that promotion or plug that Orion, that shameless promotional plug Orion just dropped. You here for the deep dive on the tape stash, and I'm talking about the Buck 'Em Down remix. The Buck 'Em Down remix was featured not on Enter the Stage, but on the second album from Black Moon, which was Digging from the Vaults. Now, this album wasn't ever to me like a true second sophomore follow-up, because really it was just a bunch of B-sides, remixes, unreleased tracks, tracks that were on soundtracks from the brothers. So you really didn't get a follow-up to the classic Enter the Stage until the group would later on put out Warzone, which is also a dope album to check out. But anyways, on Enter the Stage you had the original Buck 'Em Down, and the difference between the original and the remix is, number one, the sample is kind of the same in that the Donald Byrd Wind Parade sample is used on both. However, how the beat miners freaked it on one versus the other is completely different, and they both butter to me. And even the way Buckshot rhymes is different. He may be saying a lot of the same lyrics, but how he finessed his flow on the original, I find it to be much more aggressive, much more in your face, Buckshot Shorty with the machine gun on a skateboard,
Get on my skateboard
effect.
and do a motherfucking
Whereas
drive-by.
the remix, he's much more laid back in a different pocket, and that flow that he kicked on the remix influenced countless MCs after him that would try to emulate that same flow that he came with. And it was real dope, swagalicious, you feel me? So they didn't have a video for the original Buck 'Em Down, but they had a video for this remix, and the video is fire too. It's pretty much Buckshot with the whole boot camp clique in, you know what I'm saying, Brooklyn, doing they things. But by the time it hits the second verse, he's on a dinghy. He's on this dinghy cruising through a lake, and I mentioned this lake earlier. I believe that lake to be Prospect Park. There's a lake in Prospect Park. I did some research on it, and even the clubhouse that he rolls into looks like, in the video they make it look like headquarters for the boot camp clique. That even looks like the same clubhouse that I saw online. However, I'm not a New York native, so if you are and I happen to be wrong about that, hit me up, man. Let me know where it was truly shot at, but I think I'm on the money on that. I tried Googling it and there was no clear answer as to whether or not it was Prospect Park, but yeah, I think your boy Orion got this one. The Buck 'Em Down remix, I think, is a DJ's go-to when they're gonna play anything from Black Moon. At least every time I'm in a club, if they play a Black Moon track, it's either Who Got the Props or the Buck 'Em Down remix. So this is that. Actually, I made a t-shirt of this single at the flea market on 79th Street. Rest in peace to the flea market on 79th Street, Hialeah, Miami. You know, if you know, you know. Now, the tape has the instrumental, which I enjoyed rapping over countless amount of times, but another instrumental that this tape has is the Murda MC's instrumental, and I actually liked rapping over that one and freestyling over that one a lot more than the Buck 'Em Down remix, because as I said, Buckshot's flow on the Buck 'Em Down remix, there's no way you hear the instrumental and do not want to rap like Buckshot, and the way he came through with that laid back flow, feel me? Was Murda MC's, I felt like I could kind of like come into my own, and it definitely motivated me to freestyle countless amount of times. But with that said, the track itself and the way Buckshot rhymes on it is stellar. And I remember before knowing about the Digging from the Vaults CD, always wondering while I had this tape why they didn't put that Murda MC's on Enter the Stage, which to a lot of people is a classic, including myself. Both of these tracks don't feature the second MC in the group, which is 5 Foot Accelerator. 5 Foot Accelerator is kind of like that MC that hops in and hops out of tracks. He's not on all the songs of the Black Moon projects, but as years would go on, he would kind of make his presence a little bit more known, you know? Specifically, I'm talking about an album that they dropped in 2019. I felt like he kind of stepped it up and was on a lot more tracks than most Black Moon projects. So I would be remiss to not read the liner notes of this single, because this is not an old card template, it's J Card. And there's a quote from Evil D and Mr. Watt. Evil D's quote says, "Hey, fuck the whack MCs, use fucking vinyl like a real DJ should." I wonder about that quote, if Evil D is saying that towards the rappers who at that time maybe have started performing over CD tracks, or if he just means DJs that weren't spinning with vinyl anymore. I wonder who he was truly targeting there. And then the quote from Mr. Wall is much more somber, and it reads, "We've been through many battles and we've lost some soldiers, but the war still goes on. Who can? Mr. Wall." I wanted to do this episode because of the fact that Black Moon is gonna be in town here in Miami on Saturday, October the 25th. This isn't gonna be my first time opening up for them brothers. Actually, I opened up for them and Smith & Wesson, I wanna say in 2014 or 2015 at this spot in Miami called The Bridge. And that was a real dope show, so I'm looking forward to this one going down on Saturday at Lincoln Beer Brewing. So that about wraps it up for this deep dive tape stash. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a minute since I dropped an episode. Stay tuned, because I'm going to drop an episode every week for the next 5 to 6 weeks. I got some in the stash, y'all. I got some that you are really going to want to hear. So keep it locked with me. Peace.